Wash your brushes, you nasty freak. Hey guys, I've got a quick tip for you today on brush maintenance. It's important to keep your brushes clean for a couple of reasons. One, it's the not so gross thing to do. And two, the better you take care of your brushes, the longer they will last. Now, there are a variety of brush cleansers out there. I actually just use baby shampoo. I find that it does the job and it does it pretty well. When drying them, however, you will find that some of your brushes do this. This is a MAC 109 brush, freshly washed and dried. When it came new, it looked like this. The bristles were all nice and packed together. It was all neat and pretty. You can see the difference here between the two sizes, sort of. It's the exact same brush, it's just that this has been allowed to dry in the air and be all flayed and weird looking, and this one's nice and neat. This is actually not a new brush though. This is one that's been freshly washed and dried as well. And I'm going to show you how you can achieve this nice shape from your brushes while they're drying instead of this shape. And there'll be a couple reasons why this is kind of a good idea, and I'll get to those as we're going. For starters though, it's a lot easier to work with this brush like this than like this. It ends up being a larger brush, so I have less control than I do with this. Also, if I have this in a brush belt next to other brushes, this one is going to do this when it meets another brush. Or if I have two 109s together, you're going to get this, and it's just going to end up looking all wonky and weird, whereas this stays nice and neat. So this is like the easiest thing in the world to do, and it requires nothing that you don't normally already have. Unless you use bits of old hoof, you should probably have this laying around your house. Toilet paper, toilet tissue, bathroom tissue, whatever you want to call it, that's what it is. Don't use the one that's next to your toilet, please. Take one out of the package and set it aside just for this purpose. So all you're going to do is, after you've washed and dried your brush, I'll do it with this one, take 2 pieces or so of toilet paper and I fold it almost in half, and that's just going to add a little bit of strength to it so it's a little bit thicker. And then just take that and you're just going to wrap it around the handle like this. You can see what I'm doing here. I'm just wrapping it around like that. Then slide it up. It's like the simplest thing in the world to do. It'll be a little snug at the top. The water in the bristles will help the tissue to stay put, so you shouldn't need to tape this or rubber band it. And then stick it in a glass like this and you can dry it. The other thing that this is going to do is it's actually going to allow your brushes to dry down like this instead of like this, so water won't be getting into the handle, which will also help prolong the life of the brush. You can actually get brush guards that do this. If you have a lot of brushes though, you're going to be spending a lot of money getting something that does exactly the same thing that this does, and I find for me that it's just one more thing for me to lose because I always lose them. But yes, you can get brush guards. Just look on the internet for makeup brush guards, you'll find them online. This is how I do it though. Really simple. Wrap it up in toilet paper, slide it up above the bristles, put it in a glass and let it dry. One more tip, just cause I'm in the mood. This guy. This is sort of notoriously hard to dry. You don't want to lay it like this because then water's going to get down in here and it's not going to make it last. But if you lay it like this, the bristles kind of squish and it gets all wonky and weird shaping. And sometimes if you lay it like this, same thing, it'll kind of sort of bend. When you're done with this, save this. And what you're going to do is pretty much the same thing. Now it's going to take a couple more pieces of toilet paper than just the 2 that I showed you before, and you may have to kind of trial and error this to figure out how much exactly you need. But toilet paper, and I don't fold it in half for this one, and just wrap up the brush just like this, imagining that this is wet. And there you go, just like that. And then all you do is pop it in here and then set it somewhere and it will dry and it will stay in here. You can see it's not going anywhere. If I yank on it, it'll probably pull out. And not only will it keep the water from getting up into the handle of the brush, but it's also going to help it maintain a nice neat shape. And if you want, you can store it like this until you're ready to use it. For some of my brushes, like my 109s, I often keep them like this until I'm ready to use them, just because it keeps them clean, it keeps dust off of them, and it helps them maintain their shape. And when I'm ready, I just pull off the tissue paper and I'm good to go. That's all. All right, I'll see you soon. Take care. Drive safe.